everyone, Mrs. Tate here, just sending you a little message from the Year 5-6 team, checking in on you, making sure you're keeping well and safe at home and keeping busy with our activities from our packs. So the first thing I'm going to be sharing with you is the next chapter from the story The House with Chicken Legs. Then I'm going to be sharing with you some tips on how you can be creating your geography project. And I'll also be going through the writing and maths activities from the PowerPoint this week. So first up, I will be continuing the story of The House with Chicken Legs, and I'm going to be reading today the chapter Beyond the Fence. Beyond the Fence. Once the house disappears from view, I relax. The thought that I might get into trouble is still there, but I've decided it's all the more reason to enjoy every moment while I can. What's a bothy? I finally ask. A shelter for walkers. Usually they're little huts, left open for anyone to use, but the one we're going to is a cave in the side of the mountain. Why are you restocking it? My father is a teacher. He's bringing some children up here tomorrow on a field trip, so he asked me to drop off some supplies. Benjamin turns to me and smiles. It's just another excuse to keep me busy, really. Does he teach at your school? Yep, that's one of the reasons I don't fit in there. Really? Why? Benjamin shrugs. Some of the children don't want to be friends with the teacher's son. My eyebrows knit together. There are so many things I don't understand about the living. Jack flaps out of the mist and I suddenly feel very glad he's with me. What are the other reasons you don't fit in? I ask. Most of the boys spend all their time talking about or playing football. And you don't like football? I glance up and the view takes my breath away. We're crossing a boulder field so deep in mist it looks like the rocks are floating on a cloud. No, not really. I like drawing. Benjamin hops from one rock to the next, and his footfalls echo with a strange, sonorous clinking. They call this place Hollow Stones, he says, because of the noises the rocks make when you walk over them. I jump onto a wobbly boulder and shift my weight back and forth. It's like music. I can't believe this place is so close to the house, and I might never have come here. The sounds bounce around inside me as I wonder what else I've missed out on because I'm not supposed to go beyond the fence. The thought makes me feel hollow, like the stones. Benjamin reaches back and offers me a hand. I could jump the gap to the next boulder easily, but I wrap my fingers around his and beam as he pulls me next to him. What do you like to draw? I ask. Birds mostly. He looks down and I notice his ears have turned pink. I guess that's another reason I don't fit in. There aren't many 12-year-old bird watchers at school. Sometimes I get teased about it. Well, I love birds. I hold my arm out and Jack swoops down, landing on it heavily. Benjamin looks up and smiles. He's brilliant. Yeah, I nod. He is. The boulder field ends abruptly. We step onto a gravelly slope and walk slowly up the hill. I can see the cave mouth now, a low, wide scar in the cliff ahead. It's a bit of a scramble climbing up to it, and by the time we reach the cave my legs are aching and my hands feel weird, all cold and numb from pulling myself up on the icy rocks. But as I stand next to Benjamin and look at the view, unbarred by a skeleton fence, I feel incredible, like I could do anything. Shall I make a fire? Benjamin suggests, lifting his rucksack from his shoulders. There'll be some tea in here. I can do that, I offer. I build fires at home all the time. The cave smells of damp, sweaty socks, but I don't care. It feels so good to be somewhere real. Live. Living people go. And to be here with a real, live, living person. I bounce to the back corner, which is filled with interesting things. Someone has built a low wooden platform, I guess to sit or lie down on, and a small log burner is nestled nearby, with a chimney pushing its way up through the rocks. Logs are stacked neatly beside it, and a few saucepans and enamel bowls are balanced on a rock. Building the fire is easy. Kindling is already prepared, sticks are already cut, and the logs are dry. In only a few minutes, flames are dancing in the burner and warmth is sweeping through the cave. Good fire! Benjamin warms his hands and I smile. What will they do on the field trip tomorrow? I try to imagine what lessons you could have up a mountain and what it would be like to come up here with a whole group of children. It must be so much fun. I think they are studying the rocks. Benjamin lifts a folder out of his rucksack and passes it to me. All my father's worksheets are in there. He pulls out an assortment of other things, tape measures, balls of string, and tiny magnifying glasses, and stacks them all neatly into a box in the corner. I flick through the papers as Benjamin makes tea, but they don't make much sense. I wish I could come up here tomorrow and see for myself what the children will be doing. Sandwich? Benjamin unwraps a small parcel and offers it to me. The bread is perfectly white and square, not like Bubba's homemade bread at all. Benjamin shows me how to stuff my sandwich with thin, crispy potatoes so it crunches when I squash it. Good, isn't it? I nod, breaking crust off for Jack. Does he follow you everywhere? Pretty much. I stroke the soft feathers on Jack's chest and give him another piece of bread. He tucks it into my sock and tugs on my bootlaces. He's always hiding food for later, I explain. I think it must be an instinct. He shares food too, and he loves to play. He likes rolling and sliding and swinging on branches. Sometimes I make puzzles for him using sticks and bits of string. Thinking on this makes my heart ache. I love playing with Jack, and when I was younger, I used to love playing with the house too, but I've always wanted to play games with a real person, someone my own age. Baba can be fun, but she is too full of aching bones to run races or play ball games. I'm going to draw him. Benjamin pulls a tin of pencils and a thick sketch pad from his rucksack. Can I see your pictures? I ask, leaning over to look at the doodles on the cover. Benjamin's ears turn pink again, but he passes his sketch pad over. It's full of drawings of birds, wildlife, and farm animals, all in perfect detail. These are amazing. I turn a page and find a half-finished portrait of a woman with long, straight hair and friendly eyes like his. That's my mother. He reaches for the pad. I've been drawing her from a photograph. He turns the page and takes a pencil from his tin. Can I sketch you too? I don't get the chance to practice drawing people very often. I'm not sure where to look, so I carry on feeding Jack pieces of bread as Benjamin's pencil whispers across the paper. He tells me how he wants to study art and be an artist when he grows up. I wish I could choose what I want to be when I grow up. I wish it so much it hurts deep inside my chest. Do you believe in destiny? I blurt out. I don't know. Do you? I look up out of the cave and take a deep breath. All my life I've been told I have a destiny. I want to believe that I can escape it or change it somehow, but I don't know how to explain that to Benjamin. I'm still deciding how to answer when Benjamin puts down his pencil, looks from me to the paper, then passes me the pad. I stare at the girl on the page, curly hair and a freckled nose, smiling as she feeds crumbs to a proud jackdaw on the floor. It's strange, seeing myself through someone else's eyes. It makes me feel more real somehow. You've captured Jack perfectly, and I look at my eyes in the picture. Although I'm smiling, my eyes appear sad. Maybe Benjamin meant to draw them like that, maybe not. But either way, I think he has captured me perfectly too. You draw brilliantly. Thank you. Benjamin slides the sketch pad back into his rucksack. I'll do some more work on it tonight, then you can have it if you like. Do you fancy coming into town with me tomorrow? I could show you around. My heart stops. I want that more than anything, to go to the little town by the lake. But how can I? Anger burns through me. It's not fair. The house and Baba making me stay inside the fence. What could possibly be so bad about a trip into town with a friend? Yeah, I say firmly. I'll come. I'm not sure how, but I will, because if I let this opportunity to experience friendship and life beyond the fence slip away, I think my heart will shatter into 1,000 pieces. The air is cold as we walk back across hollow stones, but my skin feels hot and itchy. My mind is whirring with ideas for escape that fall apart the moment I try to grasp them. Benjamin stays with me until the house is in sight. It's in the same position as when I left it, and it still looks asleep. A smile twitches at the corner of my mouth with the thought that I might have got away without being missed. We agree to meet the next day. Benjamin tells me he hasn't asked his father about the lamb yet, so I tell him I'm happy to keep him for another night. As I creep back inside the fence, everything seems perfect. I think of my mother on her midnight gondola and how breaking the rules can lead to wonderful things. Today was fantastic, and tomorrow is going to be even better. Warmth hits me as I open the front door. Baba is still in bed and the house is quiet. Even the lamb is still asleep in my room, his head resting on a mossy mound. I sink into my mattress and smile. Then a squeal of excitement bursts through me, and I have to stifle it with my pillow. I can't believe this is happening. It's like the stars have watched my daydreams and are making my wishes come true. I close my eyes and drift to sleep, hoping they can change my destiny as well. It seems like 2 minutes later, I'm woken by the rattle of bones, but it's almost dark outside, so I must have slept the day away. I sit up and peer through the window. The fence trembles and sways in a rush of air, and a cold wave of dread rolls over me. A great gust shakes the skulls and bones free, and with a heart-wrenching clatter they fly, roll, and run into the skeleton store, drawn in by a great breath from the house. The store slams shut, and the house lurches suddenly upwards. "No!" I shout, jumping out of bed and stumbling over the mossy fort. The lamb bleats loudly, bolts over his fence and goes skidding across the floor. Jack flaps up from his perch on the footboard of my bed and flies around the room, squawking, but the house is calm, already walking in long lumbering strides. "No, no, no!" I fling open my bedroom door. "Make it stop, Baba, please!" Baba appears in front of me, thin wispy hair floating around her head like a halo. "What is it? What's wrong?" "Make it stop!" I scream, tears flooding down my cheeks. The house is picking up speed, rolling along in a rhythmic canter. I drop to the floor and put my head in my hands. Baba kneels next to me and wraps her arm around my back. "Make what stop? What is it?" "The house!" I yell at her. She sighs. "You know I can't do that. It must be time to move on." "But we've only been here 2 weeks. This can't be happening. Not now. Benjamin was coming back with his big brown eyes and his easy smile. We were going to visit the town. We were going to be friends. For the first time in my life, I had the courage and the opportunity to break free and explore the world beyond the fence. But now the house is taking it all away." "I want to stay here, Baba," I sob. "Oh, Manrika." Baba bundles me into a hug that both comforts and suffocates. The house is at full gallop now, speeding away from Benjamin and any chance of friendship I might have had, any chance of exploring that twinkling town by the lake. You know, the house has to keep moving so the living don't find the gate. It's important. "But why?" I shout, pulling away from her, flushing with anger. "Why is it so important? The living all find the gate eventually. They all die. Why does it have to be such a big secret? Why can't we stay somewhere long enough to make friends?" I glare at her, my eyes burning. She has to make the house stop, make it turn back. "The lamb!" I cry. "You can keep the lamb," Baba says gently. "We'll have vegetable borscht in the spring." "You don't understand." I can't tell her that Benjamin will be back looking for his lamb, but all he'll find is a rocky ledge as empty as my hopes and dreams. I can't tell her how much that hurts. "I hate this house. I hate this life." I hear myself shouting the words, watch myself pushing Baba's hands from me. I prickle with fear because I'm not in control of my emotions or my actions, and as long as I stay in this house, I will never be in control of my life, my future, or my destiny. I run to my bedroom, throw myself onto my bed, and cry myself to sleep as the house gallops on through the night. Our topic is currently our world in geography, and we have been exploring different places using atlases and the internet. Our question for our topic has been, where in the world would you live if you could? So far, we've looked at places in the UK and Europe and Africa. And what we would like you to do is to create a project about a country of your choice. In the booklet, it gives you a list of countries that you could choose from, such as Poland, Spain, Cyprus, Botswana, Kenya, or Madagascar. But you can choose wherever you like, maybe a country that interests you, maybe a country that you've visited, maybe a country that you want to visit and that you'd like to explore more. I'm going to run through a list of the things that you could potentially research about for that country. And so I thought I would choose a country that I'm really interested in, that I've never been to, and would love to go to one day. So I've chosen Madagascar. So when you're finding out about Madagascar, you could first look at what continent is it on, what's its capital city, are there any other major cities, what does the country's flag look like, what's the time difference, how many hours ahead or behind are we from it. You could draw a map of the country, show where it is in the world and how far away it is from the UK, and how long it would take to get there by plane. Then you could look at the topographical features. Can you find out the human geographical features such as cities, towns, villages, bridges, roads, man-made structures? Can you also find out about the physical geographical features? Then you could explore who lives there. What's the population? What language do they speak? Then you could find out about what jobs they do. What age do people start work? Compare the jobs they do to the jobs that we do in the UK. What makes it different to the UK? What kind of food do they eat? What crops do they produce? What is their currency? Where do they live? What are their homes like in comparison to the UK? Can you find out how old its history is? Are the people who are leading the country the people whose country it was originally? What is the climate like? Is it hot or cold? Does it have any extreme geological weather conditions? If you could send your project into school, that would be wonderful. Remember, if you complete any of the work in the pack, it can be uploaded onto the school website. All you need to do is go to the section that says homework and click to send to your class teacher, and they can reply to you and give you feedback on all your hard work. This can be a photo of the work that you're doing or a picture of your completed work. It would be lovely to see what you've done. For your writing task this week, we would like you to write a diary entry from the perspective of either the spy or the pigeon from the hilarious short video from the Literacy Shed called Pigeon Impossible. A spy gets into an unspoken yet amusing altercation with a pigeon who is not as stupid as you think. What I would do first is to watch the video so you get an idea of what happens. Then I would watch it again, but this time make notes as to the key events that happen. Then I'd make a story map like this one to show the key events. It will help you to divide your diary entry into sections. Remember to use a variety of time conjunctions. And once you've got a good story map plan, then you can start writing your diary entry. Think about what you're going to write in each paragraph, how you'd start it with Dear Diary, and thinking carefully about what the character would be thinking or feeling, and that their emotions will no doubt change within an event. For example, the spy might be getting more and more frustrated by the pigeon, so you could say that he had beads of sweat, or he was flabbergasted by the intelligence of a mere pigeon. Remember, a diary entry is written in first person and try to use some adventurous vocabulary and interesting fronted adverbials. Once you've created your diary entry, upload it to the website and show your teachers your hard work. We can't wait to read them all, and we'd love to give you a shout out in the next video. For your maths activities this week, you'll be working from White Rose Maths. If you head over to their website, go to Home Learning and then Year 6. Find Summer Term Week 1 and you will find great videos which give you working examples of how to calculate vertically opposite angles, finding the angles in a triangle, finding the angles of special kinds of triangles, and exploring missing angles. Here are some key facts to remember. Angles that are less than 90 degrees are called acute angles. Angles like this are called a right angle and are 90 degrees. Angles that are greater than 90 degrees are called obtuse. Any angle on a straight line is 180 degrees. This is a key fact you need to remember for this week's activities. Angles that are more than 180 degrees are called reflex angles. Now let's look at different names of triangles. This will also be useful for this week. Press pause and make a note of these triangles and their properties. Don't forget to share the work that you've completed with your teacher. Good luck! One final thing, just wanted to say that we miss you all and we hope you're all keeping safe at home. I've been keeping myself busy doing some gardening, painting rainbows, doing some mindfulness colouring and even a bit of cooking. Take care from all of the Year 5 and 6 team and we will see you all soon.